Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
With a December snow blanketing much of the Midwest and Northeast, what a perfect time to be in the Sunshine State as we welcome you to TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville, Florida. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Seattle Seahawks and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Jaguar team. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes that actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
Three-quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. And a look here at their go-to guy under center.
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering some snacks.
I was just going to say.
That's where I go.
On 1st and 10, Sampson. This one caught by his tight end, Oliver. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Ready. 2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. Here we go on 2nd and 12. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. Now the Georgia Southern man. This is Jerick McKinnon. Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Pulled in at the 24. A field position changer there. 49 yards on the punt. Couple that with a loss on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 20. Now Wilson. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Gary Jennings, an 80-yard touchdown as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. 2nd down, McKinnon. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 2 yards, good enough for a first. The numbers on the ground for McKinnon last week. 18 carries, 56 yards.
And to me, the goal is the exact same thing as last week. Get him the ball early and often. I think he's got another big game in him in this one.
On 1st down, McKinnon again. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. And the Buffet boys, the O-line. Hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Got to do better. Come on, QB, come on.
On 2nd down now, McKinnon. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game. And that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage. Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
And he'll be out of bounds up past the 10-yard line. A big kick, 50 yards that time with a return of 4. And it'll be Seahawk football as they take over deep in their own territory. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of know, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just...
They got his man complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 44-yard line. A big play that time for the Seahawks. 45 yards. How about this first quarter for them throwing the football?
This defense has zero answers for what they've seen so far with the ball in the air. I'm not sure how they're going to change things around, but offensively, I keep attacking. I keep throwing the football until they make me change.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And finally taken down at the 20-yard line. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardages come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. That's complete into the hands of Carson. A nice pickup on first down, 7 yards. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL. Being able to run it and catch it.
End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Gary Jennings with his second touchdown in this opening quarter. Here the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
A drive there of just 4 plays. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think they just stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. 2nd and 5. The open man is Westbrook. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
It's a game of 2. Brings up 3rd and 3.
They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
60 Pittsburgh. Get ready, get ready, get ready. Go.
From the gun on 3rd down. Sampson rolling to his right. He may try and run for this. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Check 50, check 50.
On 1st down now, run with McKinnon. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. Touchdown, Jaguars. Jerick McKinnon, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. They were already down 2 scores early. They needed something to try to stem that tide, and that certainly qualifies. A big play to get them in the end zone.
It qualifies indeed because, let's face it, they don't get something done on this drive, turn it back over, this game could be 88 and out the gate early.
What? 88 and out the gate?
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, listen, I used to hear my old man talk about it. Usually meant that thing's done.
Well, now that they got the touchdown, it's not 88 and out the gate. We've still got a good game going ahead of us. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Now a play fake here on first down. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Yannick Ngakoue in there to get him sack number 14 for him on the year.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if I'm going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Oh, and now some space to operate. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on third. So from second and long, now we go to third and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance in guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks. Wilson going to lead his guys up first and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. They run it with Carson. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And finally brought down at the 38. 25 yards the pickup there and also a first down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, that forced the incompletion.
Well, it had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
Tight up, no 14.
Wilson after the play fake to Carson. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. DK Metcalf, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. That's an early touchdown grab for last week's NFC Offensive Player of the Week. He was so electric, and they talked about it all week long. Have to try to contain it.
And now for him, being able to focus on the task at hand and not just immediately assume that last week it totally carries over, but you got to like the start that he has, showing those great hands that we've seen from him throughout.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And it's now 21-7. So this drive spans 7 plays. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Jerick McKinnon making his way back onto the field. A 1,000-yard campaign in his sights, Charles, but needs a little bit of a kick here down the stretch to reach it.
And sometimes at this stage of the season, you're looking for that extra goal, right? That extra motivation to accomplish what you want, not just...
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 40, and his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a first and 10. After the interception, here's Wilson on the move to his left. And this is taken in at the 5. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Russell Wilson now with 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Badgley on for the extra point. He knocks it through. It's 28-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people. Lean on your teammates. Find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. Operating from the gun, Sampson. And he completes it to Westbrook. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. The Jaguars on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Off the play fake. Sampson. Open man is Westbrook, complete. Catch number 4 for him on the afternoon, and it'll give him a first down.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. A pass there, complete to Westbrook. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Here's a 2nd and 7. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7, following the incompletion on 2nd down. From the gun, Sampson. Oliver, the tight end, making the catch. And a nice job there defensively. They get him to the ground short of the first, right around the 42. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And out of bounds, sailed over, looked like right near the pylon. This one's going to be perfect. Directional kicking at its finest, right down at the 1-yard line. Chris Carson trotting back out there, and he is inching closer to...
Brandon, you're never quite sure what the side judge or the field judge is going to rule there. That was awfully close, but in the end, he says it passed over the 1-yard line, and that's where they're going to mark it out. I mean, you can see it right there, right? See him walking up the sideline? Told him to stop right there.
And he'll go down in the end zone. Down goes Wilson. It's a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
This will be fielded at the 17.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
Go now. 18 games. Check 31. Check 31. Single, back up. Single slot.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Sampson. Screenplay, McKinnon. They'll wind up with 7 on the dump-off, but it'll set up 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
They'll look to pick it up with McKinnon. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right?
And can you believe it? It's a second safety in this ball game. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
So after that safety, now a free kick situation forthcoming as they punt it away from the 20. And this will be taken at the 13. So we've come upon halftime. And just like that, on we head to half number 2. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. This is fielded a couple yards deep. They're spinning away. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Now Wilson on first down. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They get 17 on that one. Move the chains. First down, Seahawks. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Here's Wilson. Buying time to his left. That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissly. 25 yards that time.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
Check 53. Check pass, check pass.
They go play action here on first down. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick. And he'll wind up losing 5 yards or so on the return, but no matter, they've got the football back. But they needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter defensively. They did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there now.
Throwing on first down. Sampson finds his tight end Oliver here outright. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Here's 2nd and 8. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. They find some open field here. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. This D wanting to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And now out come the Jags. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And he will bring it back to about the 11-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part.
End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Gary Jennings, his 3rd touchdown of the season, all coming in this game. And the Seahawks capitalize on this short field as they take it in for 6. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is, just what you said, you've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 11 yards there for Jacksonville, and a 1st down as well. On 1st down, Sampson. Short throw caught by the tight end Oliver. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Sampson. And the catch made here by Marquise Lee. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Here's a run on 1st down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard. 2nd and 11. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. They run once more with McKinnon. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Back to throw. Sampson nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The kick by Lambo is good. And now they'll just need 4 touchdowns as the deficit is now 28. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
This fielded at the 2. Ooh, the juke. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down at about the 15. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10.
53, Mike. Here we go, D, get off the field.
Here's Wilson to throw. Steps away to his left. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Sacked by the outside backer, Telvin Smith. And here the pressure from the outside linebacking spot.
And normally when that happens and they're able to get home, that means the other guys on his team helped him out a lot. That they occupied people to allow it to be no less than a one-on-one situation allows him to get home.
To try again after the sack, Wilson. And this is taken in at the 5. It's a big play there for Seattle. 64 yards. I don't want to make a story where there's not one, but he threw the 3 interceptions last week. Looked a little uncomfortable. He looks much more comfortable today.
Yeah, just 1 pick so far and his team leads. So now they can play complementary football, meaning if he takes care of the ball and his offense, you know, if they're humming along, the defense doesn't have to be out there as long. He's taking care of his guys on the other side of the ball.
They're enjoying a fourth quarter advantage. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. From the shotgun, Wilson. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Gary Jennings there to make the grab as his guys continue to pour it on. The touchdown all set up by the big play one snap before, but they finish it off here with a shorter completion, this time for the score.
I like how they stuck with what got them there, right? The big pass play, got the momentum going, right? You create it with a play like that, and you come right back with another pass play to finalize things off.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
Yeah, maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. 2nd and 2. He finds McKinnon, complete. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. Here it's 3rd and 2. Looking to throw. Sampson. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And out now come the Seahawks. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance.
And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Yannick Ngakoue in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 for him now on the year.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line extend up into the air and turn into a wall. They can put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now a give, right side. It's Carson. Well, that gives him a little room, but not much. A gain of 2 to the 5. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Play action. Now Wilson keeps himself upright. Dancing to his left. Looking deep for Jennings. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. And this will be down just inside the 30-yard line.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
Cross the slant. Hey guys, listen. Mike's 50, Mike's 50. I'm coming. Mike 50, Mike 50. Off. I got one. Mike's 50, Mike's 50. Let's go, defense. Let's go. One flip. Here we go.
Wilson wants to throw it. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Pretty quiet, D. We're pretty quiet.
Throwing again. Wilson looking deep for... Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A gain of 32 that time. Just like that, out of danger and up past the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now a give right side. It's Carson. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Cut his left.
Throwing on 2nd down. Wilson looking deep for Jennings. That's caught inside the 20. A big play that time for the Seahawks. 41 yards.
A 41-yard gain. First down, Seahawks.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Seahawks,